Casual Talk Radio's coffee taste review back with another flavor. And it's going to surprise you to hear that the coffee that I'm going to be reviewing is not actually coffee. It's presented as coffee, but even on the packaging, they have quotes around the word coffee because it's not really coffee. It's kind of an herbal blend that is brewed. And by way of the brew, it creates a sensation that you're drinking coffee, but it's really not coffee. This is organic. It's actually 75% organic, they say. 75% organic. Bottom line, it has to go with what they put in it to make the sensation that you're tasting. This is called Teeccino, I believe is how it's pronounced based on the spelling of said Teeccino, teeccino.com. If you want to check out their site, the specific flavor is vanilla nut. Made with organic herbs, medium roast, coffee free, acid free, caffeine free, and prebiotic. I was intrigued because of course it's not really coffee, and I figured I would go ahead and give it a whirl. I did already sample this one a little bit, and I'm gonna sample it here now, so I waited it to cool off. But just to talk about some of these things, for those that are decaf, that have to drink decaf, you've switched away from the regular caffeinated. There's no caffeine in this at all. Acid free for those that have stomach issues. I talked about energy. It actually has natural herbs for energy baked in it. So if you're one that did like bulletproof, as an example, that's a non-natural energy. That's more keto than natural. This is more natural energy, or so it states. Heart healthy potassium for optimum performance. Of course, potassium is healthy for you. You shouldn't take too much of it in a day, but it is very healthy for you. And then prebiotic. And prebiotic, for those that don't know, is a fiber, and it supports your gut health for digestive support. So this goes to the acid as well. So given that it said that it's not coffee, I was automatically skeptical. When you smell the grounds, if you can call them grounds, the first sensation I smelled was chocolate covered cherries. That's what it smells like. Obviously, it's got vanilla. It says straight on the package it's got vanilla in there and vanilla extracts. It does contain almonds, so if you have a nut allergy, you may want to avoid this. They can't guarantee that it's gluten free because of the way that things are prepped. There could have been some cross contamination. So although it's got these health benefits, you have to still be wary of the usuals for any sort of allergic reaction as well as any tolerances. The thought was that you would use this to wean off coffee. So you might brew this half and half, not the creamer, but half this, half your Colombian, let's say, to eventually wean off regular coffee. I think the flavor kind of throws a wrench in that, in my opinion. Because again, I smell chocolate covered cherries. That's what I smell. As far as taste is chocolate covered cherries. That's straight up what I taste. It does not taste like coffee at all. It doesn't taste bad, but it doesn't taste like coffee. I was thinking the other day when I had this, I don't drink this a lot, but I was thinking the other day when I had this, there's, the Cold Stone Creamer. The Cold Stone Creamer, if you were to put that into probably a regular hazelnut coffee, that's what this kind of tastes like, but it doesn't have that same coffee. There's that coffee tastes that every coffee has at the basic level. None of that's here. It's smoother because, of course, it's not coffee. So it's certainly smoother, easier to take down. I think this is something good for people who don't like coffee, who don't like the taste of coffee. They like possibly the feeling that they get after doing it, but they don't like the taste of coffee. I had a friend who couldn't stand the flavor of coffee for the life of him. I think this is good for people who don't like the flavor of coffee. It doesn't matter what coffee it is. They don't like the taste of coffee itself. This is good for those people. People who have stomach and digestive issues, this is probably good for them. Casual, just regular casual conversation, this is good for them. I'm going to say the statement, and it may offend some people, but I'm being honest. If you were to give this to a male, they would probably think it's just too fluffy, too soft, too tame. It's too light. There's nothing really there. That's how I feel. Like, it doesn't feel like there's enough to satiate. Because the reason we drink coffee generally is not just the buzz, but there is a little bit of a flavor bias towards that I think is lacking here. Not for nothing. It's not disgusting. It's not rancid like the Day Yes that I did the other day. It's decent. It's just not enough. It does have a little bit of an aftertaste, so it kind of lingers around, and that aftertaste does not taste good at all. I stress the intent, and I would share this, is that you would blend this with another, regular coffee as a half and half to help wean you off of dependency on regular coffee. But the flavor of it throws a wrench in the ability to do that seamlessly, such that you'd have to do, like maybe that Hawaiian, that Highlander grog or some of these other ones that are distinctly flavored. Maybe you could get away with it there. I wouldn't do it with a Sumatra. I wouldn't do it with a Costa Rica. I wouldn't. Colombian's a stretch. Like the flavors are so different that I wouldn't do it on a regular flavored coffee. It would have to be one that was distinctly flavored to help offset what you're tasting with this one. This one's so not overpowering, but so distinct that you can't really blend it with something else without it turning out disgusting, especially when it's a bitter coffee to begin with, like some of the Sumatras and the darker roasts. They're already bitter to begin with. So you add this one in there, and I think it would make you gag, to be honest. Anyway, Teeccino has teeccino.com, not coffee. The vanilla nut flavor, do check it out if you're one of those that, again, if you don't like the flavor of coffee, generally speaking, you might favor this one. I think people who just want to have a casual drink without the coffee buzz might be good for them. And of course, it has touted health benefits that cannot be ignored.